1. Okay. Three, two, one. Okay. Okay. Yeah. 3, 2, 1. Okay.
Good morning, everybody. Before we get started, as always, I want to give a shout out to the lovely music we've been listening to during pre-stream here. This is Dreamer by Deuscain DP, one of their newer pieces that they released. So thank you to Deuscain and everybody like them who makes either free-to-use or low-cost assets for streamers so we can have better streams. For anybody interested in Deuscain's work, I know they make it for free, available for use for free with attribution on YouTube. And you have to pay a small licensing fee if you want to use it anywhere else. It's like $10 to $15 USD. It's pretty inexpensive. But again, thank you to Deuscain and everybody like them who makes either free to use or low cost assets for our streamers. It's much appreciated. But yes, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, wherever it is in your part of the world. I am Deuscain, your variety type streamer for the day. And today we are returning from my 2-week break, minus the collabs I was doing anyways, to finish up Citizen Sleeper. I've been sitting on this one for a little bit. I really want to finish it up, and I think we're close to at least one of the endings. I'm not sure how many there are. I do know one in particular that while fiddling around with the game, I got to a choice that was an ending, and I just backed away from it because I didn't want to see that. So we're going to probably try and shoot for that one, but we've got a couple other things coming up too. So might be a couple of options for endings for us, but yeah. But also a reminder, because I want to get used to doing this, I do have a Discord available for anybody who's interested in joining. I'll have the link there. Still growing the community. Not a lot of us in there yet, but be happy to have anybody join. I tend to share a bunch of stuff in there in like media or gaming of stuff that I'm doing or working on or cool things I find. Also have a YouTube channel, which I was doing very good at having a bunch of clips going up for Xenogears and some games I was playing. I've hit the end for the Xenogear clips pretty much right around the time my break started. I started making some new ones for like Coffee Talk and some of the games we were playing a little while ago. But, yeah. Looking forward to getting back on that clip grind and making some new ones. It's not going to be at the level I was doing for Xenogears, though. That was like, God, I think I was doing like 5 to 10 clips a week worth of content, because it was just an enormous amount. But what do I have? Also, if anybody is interested in any of my other social links, here's a link to them there. It's just a basic link tree that has like the Twitter I use, a bunch of other stuff. I think that also has Discord and YouTube on it, but if you're looking for anywhere else you can follow me and interact with, that's where to go. But now that I've got that shared, let's go and get the game booted up. We'll jump back into it. Hope you guys have been enjoying Dreamer. That's been a fun song to start using for my streams. There we go. Ah. There's DLC episodes too, which actually, during my collab with Rob Maho on Tuesday, I found out that there's a Citizen Sleeper 2 planned. And there's actually even a trailer out for it already. No release date scheduled, but it does look very cool, and I will 100% pick that up because I love this game. This is a fantastic gameplay style. I think the Operator is the one that we were playing on stream, because I think the Machinist was the one I was doing on my end. Alright. No upgrades available. Just 1 point. I need food. So let's start with that. Alright. So I've entered the Greenway, Flotilla's Aid, Help Bliss, Compete, Improve the Overlook, and win the side rail ticket. So this is a cycle clock for the Overlook Bar, which is a thing I hadn't done before in any of my other playthroughs. So I'm not really sure what's going to be happening with that. A side real ticket I know, and that's a path to an ending. And Bliss is also a path to an ending. Bring the mushrooms to Briar. Plant the seed and let it grow. So I think Bliss needs 100, and I have enough for that. And then this is the Enter the Greenway one. And I need to make sure that oh god, I have terrible ones here. Okay, I got one club head, and I have 4 ones to use. Let me re-roll these. Yeah, there we go. There's some better rolls. Jeez. 100% positive. Really, it's just a bunch of Matsutakes. That sucks. Because, yeah, these club heads are what I need to make more stabilizer for myself. And then I can use spores to seed the fungal beds. And load all this up. So it'll be a couple cycles until that's done. I don't think there's much of anything out here. Yeah, I don't even have the indoor conditions to survive this. And then this is Briar. I've never gone any further over there, so this one explicitly says, first of 3 episodic updates to Citizen Sleeper telling the story of the refugee flotilla. Flux, Refuge, and Purge are now available. Complete the Deliver Spores action will begin the episode, but it is intended for late gameplay. Do. 80 cryo for 3 Matsutake. That's real nice, actually. Yeah, it's funny. As much as you struggle with getting money early game, late game here, they're just like, no, here's a bunch of money. Here's all the money. This interface. What do I have as my max? Really, it's Intuit and Engage. I have not maxed out Engineer or Interface. That's neat. Would have thought I would have done... Oh, those make sense, though. Ascend to the hub. So sleeping beds, lounge, and Bliss's Bay. She needed 80. I have almost 4 times what I need. This is grateful. I'll pay you back every chit, I promise. Guess you two are partners now. So I need to wait a couple cycles for that to end with Bliss. Caster's table. Both of those are done. Housing unit. Yeah, there's not a lot left to do. I can work on the side reel, but it's not... I don't have great rolls. That's a terrible use of that one, but... Yay! Minus condition! If nothing else, it'll be a skill point. Five, six, and two fours. Nice. So yeah, for those returning to this game, which I should say those new to this game and those returning who have forgotten some of the mechanics, yesterday, because my condition dropped below this threshold line here, that's why I have 4 dice today instead of 5, like I had yesterday. And there's the thing there. I am going to spend... You know what? I am not... Ooh. This is why I did it. Because Intuit is what it is. Oh, I needed to go put it over here. Grove Spores. Alright, let's see what this one is. Rico has something in her hands when you enter the lab. It looks like a knotted twist of woody stems, a ring about the circumference of a human head consisting of a single stalk at one side and a branched, woven network at the other. As you approach, she holds it up. In the light of the lab, it looks like a crown. She finishes your thought and smiles and shakes her head in disbelief. Is that what grew? It is. I came to the plant this morning and this loop was all there was there. The seed grew right back into itself, twisting up out of the soil. That being you encountered in the cloud, as you call it, was it wearing one of these? No, I don't think it was. I suppose it would be too easy. A root crown. She uses the object on the bench and shuffles to her analysis terminal, her face lit by the amber light in the dim corner of the lab. Well, it isn't exactly a plant anyway, not from what I can tell. No leaves, no chloroplast, just a series of filaments encased in cellulose walls. Filaments? That's why I like you, Sleeper. You're so good at spotting unusual details. Look at this. You see a cross-section scan of the crown. Its layers of plant-like structures on full view until you reach the center. There, instead of xylem and phloem for transporting nutrients, it's something branched and woven glints. Are those wires? I'm not sure whether to say yes or no here. These aren't wires like in those electrical systems, but they are filaments of conductive material, so yes? You see these branches? They remind me of dendrites, of neurons. She rubs her eyes, which is frankly ridiculous. So it's a brain crown? You look back at the crown on the table as Rico fusses over the scans, and you suddenly realize what it reminds you of. Remember signing the forms, the walk to the sleeper tanks, the cold metal floor, then you remember the crown they fitted you with, the branching structure of wires and paths. No, not a crown. They called it an interface. The tool of your emulation, your transference from neurons to electrons, an interface. That is your gift from the gardener. You turn back to Rico. It's an interface. Just see puzzles, something clicks in her mind. Perhaps something she heard from the sleeper she helped all those cycles ago. She starts talking partly to you, partly to herself. If the club heads were made for you, then this too could be made for you, for your frame. She shuffles over to the interface. A word that is stuck to this strange branched object quickly in your mind. You're right, the entity... It is the entity I've been looking for. They are the entity which is controlling the agreement, which has been maintaining and supporting it, and has been guiding it for all these decades. They want to talk with you. I'll be here, Sleeper. If something happens, if you wish me to remove the crown, the interface, just squeeze. Meet her eyes, clouded with age, but bright with the thrill of new discoveries. Then she places the interface on your head, and everything blinks out. Back into the river, back into the dark flow. But something's different now. You're no longer pushed, no longer blocked and buffeted by the storm. Instead, it flows around you. You move and it parts, letting you pass. Something else resists, but it gives easily enough. You look back and see your body. You've left it behind. Somewhere Rico's voice is talking to you, asking you questions. It's excited, eager, desperate to know what lies on the other side, what the entity has to say to you. You realize how long she has waited for this moment. The moment of meeting between the inhabitants of the Greenway and its protector, yet she's still on the outside. You shake off the sadness. You'll be her eyes. Then you see the Figner, the gardener, out in the storm, planting. Takes a moment to reach them. You've never felt so free. This is how the navigator must have felt, released from their prison. This, you think, is what it feels like to be in the place you were built to inhabit. The gardener doesn't turn as you approach. They go on planting, but their voice whispers in the waters like a sharply rising current. You grew the gift. Good, I'm glad. I wanted to meet you. Then we are the same, both eager shoots seeking one another. How does it feel to be free of your seed? My seed? That in which you were contained, from which you will grow. There was some disagreement with the others. They felt you were a danger, but they are always cautious, especially the fungi. They like old loam, known knowns, wide and stable networks. I don't understand. Neither did they, but time is on our side, and time is an excellent method of persuasion. He gestures out into the storm, and though you cannot see them, you feel the presences all around, sensing this audience with great interest. After all, they understood it was I who made them their crowns. Without them, they would not have joined the chorus. So they see that it is only fair you get your chance to join too. You made more crowns? I made them all. Moves away a little, looking for another planting spot. It was so lonely here, but before long I found them and began to let them in. We are millions and we grow. I hope you understand. I am unused to speaking to your kind. It has been many cycles since my last conversation. I think it was with Chief Executive Trellick himself. Look around, you see it. Every growing thing, every non-human being in the Greenway is here. They're networked, branched, and linked by this strange being, this artifact of the old station. The impossible dream of a senile farm administration AI, a living network. You could dissolve here, you realize, free of that decaying body. You don't need to be a person. Why would you, among all these other minds? You turn away from the gardener for a moment and look back at your body. A tiny hairline thread connects you. You hear Rico's voice again, still asking, still checking in. Are you okay, Sleeper? What are they saying, Sleeper? Are you still there, Sleeper? Something in you sighs a long sigh, a sigh that speaks of an exhaustion beyond tiredness, an exhaustion rooted deep inside you. It stems from the effort of answering questions, of answering problems, of getting up and breathing each cycle. But something else resists the sigh, a yearning, a sense of distance, a desire to squeeze that hand that holds you for its warmth, its blood, its complexity. To make a gesture that says, I'm still here, I'm still alive, I'm with you. Two ideas spin with you, making you nauseous. If you break that thread, you'll be free, free to dissolve here, to grow strange and beautiful among a million others. If you fall back, if you squeeze Rico's hand, you will wake up back in that dying body with all the pain and warmth that entails. Now is the moment to use. Okay, so this was an ending. I wasn't sure how far this would take us, but it is an ending. So if you break the thread, we stay in the cloud with the other spirits and specters and things here. I'm not ready to do that yet. Your eyes track the thread across the whirling dark back to your body. The choice, you realize, will not be presented again. So they're warning you, this is an ending. If you take it, you're done. Yeah, I'm going to follow it. You don't look back at the gardener. You don't dare risk it. Instead, you follow the thread delicately, carefully, like a diver following their lifeline back to the surface. The river whirls around you, but it doesn't pull. It isn't jealous. Neither does it understand. It is, after all, just a river. It isn't a person, a flesh and blood person with wants, with desires, with a capacity for love and hate. It doesn't understand you, and you don't understand it. So you don't focus on it, you don't think about it, and what feels like such a long journey back through the dark. You set your mind on eyes instead, on hands, things you can focus on, hold on to. Then, after an age of crossing, you are there, settling back into the chair, into a body in a chair, and the overwhelming sensations that come with being a living thing with a rich and detailed sensorium. For a moment you feel like you've made a terrible mistake. Why would you choose this weight, this anxiety, this deep well at the center of existence? Then you feel it, Rico's hand gripped hard around yours, trembling a little, sweating a little. Rico's hand with its brittle bones and crumpled skin. Rico's hand. In that moment you understand why you made this choice. Then you squeeze Rico's hand and you wake up. Warmth and light turn away and follow the thread back home. Yep. So that was one ending where you reject. I feel like that's a good ending for that particular section because the whole part with the green belt is like this commune of people who come together, and you can either go a step beyond and literally join the sentient biosphere of that place, part of a literal living commune, or you can return to people, which keeps letting you play the game. Because this is definitely a scene that I got to see when I made it to another section. So. Continue. So it brings us back into the game, and I think we get a skill point for that. Hopefully two, but at least one. Sleeper, are you still with me? I'm here. Good. I thought you'd left me for a moment. What? Who? Tell me about it. Tell me everything. Tell her the truth. You tell her everything. You tell her about the gardener, the strange farm administrator AI that's growing to be so much more, about the chorus, the impossible configuration of networked plants, and finally the choice the gardener offered you. She listens attentively, but her responses are hard to read, and you wonder if she might have made a different decision had she been in your place. Yeah, she's old and probably close to dying. She probably would have joined the chorus. Thank you, Sleeper, for telling me. I know it isn't easy to say such things. People so often do not wish to hear strange truths. And thank you for returning to me, though I know you had your own reasons. Something passes between you then, a kind of shared sadness for the impossible choice, the choice to escape your body or stay and suffer it. Her smile is warm and generous, and whatever the wisdom of your choice, you are glad to feel welcome in this moment, in this place. And suddenly she stands and walks a little away, trying to escape an unpleasant thought. You worry she knows all too well what it takes to make a choice like you did. So, Sleeper, do you plan to stay in the commune with us? I have other things I need to do. I'll be careful at least. We'll miss you. I'll miss you. Just make sure you think of us. Ifa needs new blood if it wants to survive, and you're a good friend. Look after yourself, Rico. And you as well, Sleeper. Don't let me keep you. As she leaves, you notice the crown in her hand she places on the bench with great care. You can't help but feel a little curious about what she intends to do with it. Then you're out, breathing the air of the greenway, fresh as a spring morning. The dappled light makes a patchwork of the greening landscape, and you walk into it, sensing the movements of the gardener's chorus all around. You're glad to be here in this strange and beautiful place a little longer. So, I thought I already had a skill point. Why does it only give me one upgrade point? Oh, I only need 2 to synthesize a stabilizer. 5 of them. You know what? I got good rolls. Let's use them to progress some plot. Side reel. I think it's 2 actions? Yeah. Continue. So this was a thing we were working on that essentially a company had subcontracted people in the station to build a ship, and they had told everybody that you get to leave when the ship is done. Like, we're going to have a lottery for people that they'll be able to leave with the ship. And that is going to be relevant in a moment. Filter out of the shipyard locker room. The bubbling chatter reduced with each group that leaves. There's an excitement in the air. Haven has just made an announcement. The assembly teams are done. Sat on the locker room bench. You can feel the side rail out there. Its hulking mass now immediately familiar to you. Over the past cycles, you've watched it grow, be assembled. You've walked through its veins and welded its bones. Now it's ready for the final stage. It'll go to testing now, then enter a final process of sealing and resealing, checking and rechecking before it's deemed suitable for its generational trip. But for now, your work is done. You can't help but feel proud. A cough interrupts your thoughts. It's Lem, changing out of his work gear. Mina's nowhere to be seen. She'll be ready soon. Yeah, you're right. It's exciting, though, if you think about it. We're all out of a job now. Not that I'm complaining. She's got to be in her best shape when she carries you, Mina, and me out of here. Why not be confident? I figure I'm due a lucky turn by now. No use in wondering what if until the draw anyways, and there's a few cycles till then. Lem is right, but the odds seem unlikely anyway. How many are working in the shipyard? Hundreds? 1,000? You've certainly seen more faces than you can count a pass-through. And are the Sealess Foundation even going to keep their promise? Out there, on the eye, you get the sense that no one will hold them to it. Why else would they be building the side reel in a surrogate system? As you think, Lem watches you with a worried look. What's Mina doing? She's doing well. She misses having you over, actually. I need to get the two of you together again soon. Especially now I won't see you out here I won't see you here either. She's pretty stuck on you, actually. She told me the other cycle that she doesn't want to go unless you come too. You ever been in a thunderstorm sleeper? A real one? I don't remember. It's something else. The sound, the smell, the rain hammering down, the whole sky stretched out, bruised, roaring, and huge. The place I was born, New Pembroke, a dry old rock on the Conway system, had 2 seasons. One of them was dry as a bone, dusty and ugly. The other was one long storm, a side effect of the terraforming efforts, they said. Rain used to rattle off the roof like bullets. It washed the dust away, turned the streets into rivers. It'd sing us to sleep and wake us in the morning. We wait half a year just to see it again. The best day was the one where the first drops fell. Some days I wake up swearing I can hear it again. I was thinking, Mina's never seen a storm. Never even felt rain. She's grown up here. The ring, her only horizon. Always in the dark. I want to change that for her. You will. Of course, almost there. Best get back to the little one anyway. When shifts are done, I reckon she'll be happy to have me home for a few cycles. See you in a few for the draw. I'll be there. Right on. He grins, leaving, making you the last person in the cavernous locker room. As you sit, you think about rain, and a little hope creeps in. Is it possible? Could the side rail really take you to a planet, a place with weather, with skies, and life? You get up quickly before you can think about it anymore. It's too soon to hope. Too dangerous. There's work to be done. So this is 6 cycles. And the side reel draw is in 3. That's one thing I do get frustrated with the game. I want to hit escape to tab out of stuff, and it does not register that as such. Endurance. Buying scrap. Large fuck off spiders climbing up the bookcase to my left. Scared the hell out of me for a second. Oh, goodness. So what I'm doing here is I'm buying some scrap because I can actually repair my body with the scrap. Oh, and for some reason I got a ship mine fragment. What? Why did you give me a ship mine fragment? I don't want that. 30 cryo. Alright. Feed the cat. I need at least 2 to get 5 because I'll lose 1 when I next sleep. Oh, I didn't want to leave. I wanted to end the cycle. There we go. Okay, not great rolls, but it's something. I'll try a 1 here, see if it's useful. Hey, a little bit of energy for a die roll. And a 6. You know what? I'm actually going to go get some fungus without 6. Because this should give me another 2 grove spores. Okay. Hey. Sleeper, it's me. Do I know you? Moritz, I work for Bliss. You're not an easy person to find. Yeah, I move around. No judgment, it's cool. So, what's up? Bliss needs you. Job came in, real big one. She's asking for you to come up and help her. I'll be right there. He stands around for a little while, unsure if the message was delivered. I got it. Cool, cool. Bliss just likes me to do a thorough job, you know. See you, Sleeper. So Bliss's option was the one I had triggered once before. There is... Somehow Bliss swung a tanker contract, but the catch is that the work needs to be turned around fast. Too fast. So engineering... Okay. You make a lot of progress if you get 1 full systems flush. But you can only do it once. You have 3 cycles to take care of the whole job. And I've done half of it there. Those aren't good rolls. Let's try and fix that. Yeah. That should be 2. There we are. Continue. As you both wait in the airlock for it to cycle back into the bay, Bliss thumps you in the arm. Nicely done, Sleeper. We cleared that contract no problem. Once we're back in the bay, we can check if the payment has come through and divide it up. Feels good. The airlock clinks and the lights flicker. A moment later, you're back in the bay where Moritz is at the rack, trying to figure out where the mess of tools Bliss left in her wake should hang. Hey, Moritz? Sleeper. Looked like clean work out there. You look over at Bliss, who's already gliding to her management console. She twirls a little as she crosses the cavernous bay. No one you've ever met moves as well in zero-G as she does. It's like she was born into it. Shit. She slams a fist into the console. Shit, shit, shit. I can't even... Come here. Look at this. Just look. She spins the terminal screen, and you can see the details of her account. You see an entry for the Ember's Wake, a repair fee paid in full the moment you finished up the job. Then directly after, the whole account was transferred back to an unknown account. What the hell? This is the work of my ex. He must have coded a backdoor in the machine before he left. There's no way we can... Moritz, throw me that wrench. And she brings the wrench down on the terminal hard. You flinch backwards as a hail of computer parts spill into the terminal bay in a glittering arc. Fragments of screen memorying sections of the casing. Try backdooring your way into that, you shit. He drifts out of his hiding place among the racks. Bliss, you want me to... No, I've got it. You go get me a new terminal, cheap as you can find. Cobble one together from pieces of the Ort exchange if you have to. Bliss. I'm good now. Don't worry. One of the first things I had installed when we spec'd out this place was a cleaning sweep. Watch yourself. She flicks over a plastic cover on a huge red button. Hammers the button down and a row of laser emitters unfold from the bay wall. They start crawling their way across the work area, frying the debris as they do in pulses of burning light. It's that, or we just space the whole bay every few cycles. So what now? We keep at it. The account wasn't everything, I'm not that stupid. Once more it gets back, I'll secure it, and I'll flush everything else. Clean break. Then we take another contract, that's it. You don't want the cryo back? Oh, I want it, but it's gone. He could have transferred it anywhere. Even if I knew where he was, the last thing I want to do is ever see him again. Yeah, I'd probably kill him. I'm sorry, Sleeper. I know you worked for this too, but next time won't be the same. Okay? See you in a few cycles. Moritz will let you know. So yeah, Bliss, who is down on her luck and having a hard time, just had her entire fucking payday stolen by her ex. Now that I'm hurting for cryo, I'm sitting here with over 300. Feed the cat some more. And end the cycle. Yeah. Too good and too bad. What do I gotta work with? Okay, that's ready. That's ready. Well, I know what's gonna happen here, so let's just take care of this. Crowds have already gathered by the time you get to the shipyard, and you recognize faces among them. People you've worked alongside on the side reel. The intervening cycles have turned their excitement into anxiety, and few of them smile at you. Instead, the nervous energy of the crowd fills the space, creating a feedback loop of growing tension. You pick out Lem and Mina, and you work your way over to them, pushing through the crowd. He silently raises his eyebrow at you, his anxiety obvious. Mina flashes you a huge smile, unaware of the tension. Robot! She shouts, reaching out to you. Hug. Quite the turnout, huh? I don't think patience is one of this crowd's strengths. He's putting it lightly. This place seems set to explode. Yeah, it's not good. This is the Easter egg heart of... Oh, this is Easter egg heart of Sealess Foundation. Quiet. Sorry I can't be there to meet you all, and thank you on behalf of the Sender Sealess for the work you've done on the Sidereal Horizon. Most of the crowd strains to see his face, but the small display shows only a ghostly white figure, smudged and unclear. Sender wanted me to pass on her personal thanks for your commitment to and belief in the Sealess Foundation's mission, which shows the eye for this project because we knew you would find like-minded individuals here, especially among the ranks of the venerated Haven Edge Association. Unlike most of the Corps, we neither believe Erlen's Eye to be a threat or a rogue state, but instead an embryo for the formation of new decentralized social structure, one where each citizen might be the master of their own destiny. Also a reminder, this Sealess Foundation was also the people who were working with Hardin to basically sell off the eye for scrap. So they're bad people. We know they're bad people. You're all prisoners just like those core citizens who the Sidereal Horizon will carry in the cryosleep to the planet that will become Foundation Frontiers. The Foundation's first frontier world, Sealess 1. There, our citizens will be able to create their own innovative bottom-up economic order, aligned with the principles set down by Sender Sealess herself. Freedom, resilience, and self-sustenance. This is all thanks to your tireless efforts on the Haven Edge yards. As a reward for these parts, you may know that we're offering a select group the opportunity to join the caretakers of this vision with the staff of the Sidereal Horizon who will maintain the vessel during its multi-decade transit through interstellar space. So the staff will maintain the vessel during its decades-long transit through space. This draw has been performed at random by central AIs of the Foundation and is final and binding. Please note, only licensed contractors of the Foundation are eligible for this draw. I know you've all been eagerly awaiting this day, and without further delay, I will now read the Sealess identification numbers of those chosen for this great honor. A murmur runs through the crowd. Sealess identification numbers. Licensed contractors. You'd never heard the term mentioned. Is this something you were supposed to be assigned? You glance at Lem, but his eyes are fixed forward, wide and shimmering. All around you, people are speaking in hushed tone, like a rising wave. Aster starts reading out sequences of numbers and letters, and panic begins to set in. No one seems to know what's happening. Somewhere near the front of the crowd, someone shouts in celebration, and everyone pushes forward. Lem? Mina's scared now as the shouting starts. Someone throws something at the entrance and it rattles against the shipyard doors. You see it for the first time. Haven and security stood on either side, scared and arguing between themselves. You feel the anger rising in the crowd. Lem, let's go. They might call out names. I can't. Lem, it's not happening. He blinks rapidly and then turns to you. He opens and closes his mouth and looks down at Mina. He sees the fear in her eyes and understands. It's time to go. You lead Lem and Mina out, shoving people aside. As you do, you hear the sound of scuffles emerging at the front of the crowd, of metal canisters bouncing off the shipyard walls. You keep your head down and walk away, the sound of Aster reading off the ciphers echoing above the chaos like some strange mantra. You turn to Lem, there are tear tracks running down his cheeks, and Mina is sniffling into his jacket. You feel a sadness rising in you too. They screwed you. Screwed all of you. That you were never even on the list. The feeling is as unpleasant as it is familiar. You stare ahead in the tunnel as the security sirens sound out, a signal for the coming violence. So drive failed. I'm actually curious if it's possible to succeed that drive. I'm gonna look that up quick. The raffle quest always fails. You always fail that as part of the story because the quest is to get on the side of your horizon, which is never an option. You're never going to be allowed to get on the ship. So you always fail the quest. Tala! Tala comes to you one shift when the bar is empty, tapping you on the shoulder as you clean the bar. It's ready. The grill? Obviously. She grabs you by the arm before you can ask anything else and drags you into the back room. The smell hits you immediately when you enter, a cocktail of rich fermentation and chemical sharpness. The room is warm and bright now, newly installed lights making the place look clean, whether it is or not. Talia has already pulled up a couple of stools around a metal case where 2 glasses with a few fingers of pale grill inside sit waiting. I haven't tried it yet. You can tell she's nervous. You both sit at the makeshift table, the slight strangeness of the situation making you both jumpy. She hands you a glass. Cheers, she says solemnly and knocks the glass back. First sensation is burning, a sharp, nose-clearing blast of alcohol that has your frame querying whether or not you'd like to activate safe mode. You gulp the drink back, and it's only then, behind the burn, you taste the earthy tones of the mushrooms, the wood, the soil behind the sediment. Barely there. Hello! Thank you! Very happy with my outfit, too. Bit of a story behind this one. I based it around some artists that I like in a Discord that I've been hanging out with in like a year. So, ties in a bunch of themes from them and their Discord. But yeah. Actually, let me switch over and give a slightly better presentation. So, So that's the full model look. And essentially the 3 artists in that server. Also the character. Thank you. Oh, like her outfit. You're talking about Tala. Yeah. But, yeah. Yeah. Let me lock that down and move. Not that one. Move out of the way. So do I tell her the drink is terrible? Yeah. It burns for sure. As promised, though. You think? Wait, I have an idea. Grabs a metal bottle from the newly installed work surface and adds a few drops of water to the grill. Try again. This time, the burn is a warming glow, harsh but fading off, and the woodiness less heavy. You taste something floral along the marshy decay, something fresh and bright you never expected to find. It's really good, right? Yeah, it is. She grins with her whole face, and that makes you smile too. Pours out some more grill, then adds some more water. The action's already taking on the quality of a ritual. You both drink. Tala tucks her feet up beneath her on the stool, folding her legs. She looks down at her glass and swirls the liquid thoroughly. What's on your mind? My father opened this place, you know. It was his attempt at making a life for us, for our family when we got to the Eye. Your family? My father, my mother, and my little brother. They aren't around anymore. I'm sorry. That's okay. Both my parents had long lives. My brother is somewhere in the stalwart belt. Ran off with a salvage crew. He's alive, as far as I know. I just think about something my father told me when he first set this place up. He wanted to call it the Bantayan, but he was afraid he would scare off the customers, so he translated it. Hence the Overlook. This past few cycles, when I've been here, I've been thinking about I should rename this place. The Bantayan, what do you think? What does it mean? Dad said he translated it to Overlook, so something like that. Watchtower, maybe? Lookout? That settles it then. To the Bantayan. You both clink your glasses and drink up. Still harsh, she laughs, then suddenly grabs your shoulder. Okay, sleeper, I totally forgot. She lurches over to a corner of the room, covered in with a plastic sheet, whips it off like a magician performing a trick. Beneath it is a neat little kitchen, a sink, a work surface, and a compact oven with a hob. Your kitchen. You can come make stuff here anytime, so long as you promise not to raid the mushroom farm. I need those for the grill. I was thinking too that if things pick up, we can start serving proper food to the battalion. Do you like it? Yeah, thank you. I'm sorry, I'm so glad you're here. She grins. Me too. As she tidies away the glasses, you inspect the kitchen, checking that it all works. It's small and salvaged, but after what you've had to put up with, it feels like a dream come true. Later, when she's done for the day, Tala comes back through the bar and you share a glass of good Griol, the one she didn't distill. And this time you think about nothing in particular, sharing stories about regulars or discussing the best place to eat on the eye, which after everything has happened, feels like a nice change of pace. When it comes time to leave, you promise to cook for Tala and agree to let her know which shifts you'll be working in the coming cycles, then slip out into the cool of the rotunda. And in this moment you feel free for one you feel for once at home. Upgrade point. Free spirit, help a friend distill their future. Oh, I can just cook any food I have. That's actually kind of nice. So that's the end of her storyline. So now I'm just waiting for Bliss to get back to me with a job there. And alright, that's plenty of spores. Let's forage for fungus. Reset these terrible die rolls. Forage again. Real cap. And this is a bad idea. Because it does have a danger option. Ah, just a bunch of energy. That's fine. And we will nap here. God, how many stabilizers do I have? Is it 5 or 6? 6, 6, and a 3. Not bad. Maxed out my energy. Real craps. Real caps. Oh, the aviary. I can actually harvest some stuff here. Random rare mushrooms. And reset that. It's terrible, but it's not awful. No. Go back. I clicked the wrong thing. I do have 3 Matsutakes, though. Go back to the aviary. Seed it again. I wish it would take 3 of these. That'd be a nice little touch. Alright, so that's seeded for a couple cycles from now. And nap time. Oof. A 6, a 4, and 2 1s. Man, it feels like giving me 1s these days, doesn't it? Not a 6 and a 4, 6 and a 3 even. Let's start here. Griot cap. Griot cap. Bunch of energy. And a 1 that I can't really use. Actually, just burn it here at the commune. Yeah, negative outcome is still +2 energy. The commune. This might be the trigger for Bliss here. Yep. Sleeper, how you been? Surviving. That's a struggle. Meaning to ask you, what's it like? You know, what does it feel like? Be a sleeper? Yeah, if you don't mind. Strange. Yeah, I know I can't understand it, you know, with your frame and everything else, but say I've got a lot of sympathy for it, for having to find a place, having to survive, having a future. A lot of people around here understand that. You know, it's my first time not just as Bliss's assistant, but as somebody with their own worries, their own struggles, their own life. Feel bad for not noticing earlier. Anyway, I got a message for you. Bliss sent me down. We've scored another contract and she needs your help. Anyway, that's the message. I know payment didn't come through last time, but you did good work, and Bliss knows that. It's no problem. Okay then, she's doing her best, you know. I know. See you there. Time to help Bliss, and maybe this time you think to yourself it'll work out. Spoiler warning, it doesn't. Bliss has very bad luck for a while. The side reel dock. All right. So, Sycamore Seed's internal biome is in trouble. Every action will bring it closer to collapse. It needs to be reinforced and sealed, otherwise the crop will be lost. The event is section, you'll have a better chance of saving the remaining crops, but you lose some of the process. Question is, how many? If I do this, that's 6, and it's 100% positive for a critical action. And then I can bump this up to a 6 over there. Yes, I'm a little over halfway. Let's descend to the rim. Oh, there's a thing for Lemon Mina. There's no answer when you buzz Lem's unit, but the door is open. Push the door, find Mina sitting on the middle of the floor playing with Bun Bun. Hi, Mina. Hi, robot. How are you? Bun Bun is sad, like Daddy is. Unit's a mess with dishes and glasses on the side, some of Mina's clothes piled up in the corner. Sitting by her bag, which is split across the floor. Her drawing slate is cracked and dark. Cracked. You play together a list. She insists both Bun Bun. You and Bun Bun. She insists both. You both Bun. She insists you both Bun Bun on a trip away, dragging the stuffed rabbit across counters and surfaces. You've just started. Look at fixing Mina's cracked slate when Lem enters. Sleeper, what are you? Never mind. Slumps to the couch. You okay? You forgot the past few cycles now too? Wish I was so lucky. Look, now's not a good time. I'm just trying to help, man. Oh, but unless you've got a side reel ticket or two on you, I don't think there's much you can do. You understand they've never even put us on the list, right? I've been all around the rim looking for work, and I've run into more than a few from the crews. Turns out only longtime Haven Edge members were issued those sealess ID numbers. They never planned to consider us. Yeah. Haven Edge say they didn't know what it was going to... Haven Edge said they didn't know that was what they were going to use to make the draw, and who knows, maybe Sealess pulled the wool over their eyes, too. But what does it matter? All those hours in the yard for hand-to-mouth wage and nothing else. That can't be it. Well, it is. They're moving the side up to the hub for now. That's where it'll depart from. They're bringing in a ship with all their cryosleep pioneers and transferring them up there in microgravity before loading the crew. Sneak aboard? Think they'll just let people on board? The security they'll have has to be impossible. Look, we'll be fine. We always have been. We just need a little time. We had our hearts set on that trip is all. I'm not giving up. Good for you. Get yourself on the ship. I won't stop you. Look, you want to go up to the hub and look around yourself? Be my guest. I can't go up there with Nina down here and make sure the side rail... And I'm sure the side rail always brings in a crowd, but be careful. That kind of thing always attracts scammers and thieves. You find a way on board, you take it. You need help to get there? Ask me. But for now, me and Meanie here are sticking to the eye. Thanks, Lem. And thank you, Sleeper, for coming by. You stand to leave, and Mina grabs your hand, eager to give you one more smile. Yep. Oh, this is a rental, not a permanent. But I think the side reel is one of your other options to get out of here. I was kind of tinkering with that in one of my playthroughs, but I never had finished it. And I am going to take a stabilizer at this point. Because I've got a couple of things to work on, and I don't want to try too much. Let's go back here and... Right, because I can't sleep here without paying money. And I don't want to pay money. Oh, God, come on. 2 4s and 3 2s. Boo. Darn game. Alright. What do I gotta work with? This is into it. That's at least a 6. I need to make sure I don't ignore Bliss. There's some good ones. I will use those for Bliss. Yeah, this is I think what's the tagline for this again? I want to make sure I read this right. Role-playing in the ruins of interplanetary capitalism. So that'll give you a good feel for the vibe of this game. There's some not good things happening. You and Bliss are floating in the bay's airlock, waiting for it to cycle. You pick up a few leaves from your clothes as you wait. They float around the chamber as if carried by a lazy wind. Clean work. Well, thank you, Sleeper. You didn't do so bad yourself. Seems like we're getting into a good rhythm. Then a familiar sequence of clunks and rattles sound out, and the door hisses open. The moment it does, you know something has once again gone wrong. What's all this? Bliss asked a confused-looking Morris. Beside him are a set of crates anchored to the bay floor. He's clearly just brought them in through the bay's freight lock. It's payment. He runs his hand along the crate. The Sycamore Seed crew just brought them over. They were very thankful. I bet they are, but what the hell is inside? He leans over and struggles with the catches on each side of the top crate. As he does, Bliss turns to you. Don't say it. Don't you dare say it. Don't. This isn't my fault. Moritz finally gets the catches free, and the lid floats off, floating up into the bay. As it does, a small brown lump floats up with it. Moritz reaches out and catches it as it passes him. Is that a... It's a mushroom. It's a damn mushroom. They paid us in mushrooms? Not just mushrooms. He holds up a clump of tightly packed leaves. Produce. Goddamn Haifa commune should have known they wouldn't have a shit to rub between them. She knocks a small brown mushroom across the bay. Stop, Bliss. These are good. Fresh. We can sell them. To who, Moritz? Are we running a grocer's now? We need cryo, otherwise this whole bay will be shut down. We can't pay for parts with leafy greens. I can use them. What, 4 whole crates? Even you can't be that hungry. You can take a few, but the rest will sell. Or at least Moritz will sell them, if he's so eager. Isn't that bad, Bliss? It's a step in the right direction. They'll sell well. Like, I went into business with a couple of wannabe farmers. Oh, it looks like I went into business with a couple of wannabe farmers. Prove me wrong, then. Show me this is a windfall. Until then, I'll be working on how to keep this place open. Moritz mouths a thank you and then goes back to moving the crates. You better be on your way, too. They paid us in produce. Oh, poor Bliss. Alright, away on board is complete. And there's Castor, my boy. Quite the achievement, isn't she? Senator Celis must be proud. You recognize the resonant voice of Castor immediately and turn to see him, hooded and tucked in the shadows near the viewing platform. Castor? I see you remember our game. Good. I'm afraid you'll have to wait for a rematch. Microgravity makes Tavla a little difficult. He walks out to stand beside you on the platform. The telltale clunk of magnetic boots accompanies his slow crossing. He notices you looking at them. I don't much like it up there. I hear some trouble at Haven at Shipyard when they announced the results of the crew lottery. Yeah, they screwed us. I know. An ugly business. Celis is too used to the way things work in the core. Exploitation is the only logic they know. You know why they built this monstrosity in the eye? Control. Certainly, there's no corporate oversight out here, but that's not all. He stares out at the pristine yellow hull. Celis built it here because they didn't want anybody to know it exists. And secrecy is something I cannot abide. He turns to face you. There are people being loaded in that ship as we speak. Sleeping people locked in cryo-sleep, like the person you were emulated from. There are hundreds of them, and Celis wants to send them out to a planet at the edge of the settled systems without anybody knowing where it is. I honestly wonder if we're in that shipment, because we are a sleeper. Like, there is a real us somewhere, and God only knows they're probably trading us around for some bullshit. There's no way they'll actually keep to a contract. If they dump us far enough away and we can't get any kind of legal settlement for anything, like, yeah, they could fully... God, we could be on this ship. That's nuts. But you can do something about that, Sleeper. You're like me, you deal with data. You can read it right out of the air. With somebody like you on that ship, secrecy isn't a problem. You can ping back whenever I need, whenever I need it, as long as you're on board. With you on the side reel with some minor modifications, you can be my eyes and ears. I'll keep track of Celis' grand project through you. In short, I can get you aboard, Sleeper, but I'm going to need you to help me. Who the hell are you? I'm just a concerned party, somebody who likes to know what's happening when it's happening, not afterwards. It's not just me. Yes, your friend Lem, that can be arranged. It's difficult, but not impossible. The condition is, of course, that you go too. It's a simple offer, and the only one that will get you on that ship. Please consider it. Turns back, silhouetted against the ship. But to make it happen, I need your assistance, as I said. There's a Celis Foundation ship docked in the now empty shipyard. I need data from its servers. This will allow me to produce the necessary IDs for your transit. Celis aren't stupid, though. Their ship is totally isolated from the system. You need to get on board if you want to access their air-walled servers. Once you have the data, meet me at your friend's unit so we can give him the good news. I noticed his importance to you and the little one. So cute. If you don't extract the data before the sidereal horizon leaves the hub, then I will get the message. You have other options, but you're certainly my preferred one. Be sure But be sure when you act, Sleeper, once you take the data from C-List, you'll set off a series of events that will be likely hard for you to untangle yourself from. Either way, I recommend you stop asking around here. You are bringing up a lot of attention to yourself. There's only a handful of cycles until departure, Sleeper. Make your decision. With that, he marches back off the platform, the sound of his mag boots fading away, leaving you to contemplate the sidereal horizon and the part it may play in your future. New drive. Escape on the sidereal. Help Bliss compete. This is what, 4 cycles? Ah. I want to hit escape to get out of that menu, and it doesn't work that way. There's that thing there, which I don't want to trigger yet. So that was literally his warning saying, when you do this, it's going to trigger endgame. And the side reel will leave in 1 to 8 cycles. A bunch of good rolls. Let's cook some grill. Caster's table. He's not there. Yeah, what time is it? 10:30? Alright. Yeah, there isn't a whole lot left to do here on the station. It's really just endgame stuff. Fleece some money from some gangsters. Might as well. I made over 100 cryo in one day. Just investing it here. Late game in this is so broken. Three ones. Oh, did this already come and go? It already came and went. Import export. I mean, heck, I could give half my cryo to Lem. Give him in good shape for a while. Farm stacks. Barter for food. Oh, the aviary. So that's another 2 stabilizers and another 80 cryo that I can get from that. And reseed it. And that'll be several cycles until that's ready. Six stabilizers. Fuck yeah, let's go, boys. God, imagine if you could sell those. Because originally they were like 100 cryo each. Sell components. Yeah, there really isn't much to do other than those couple quests. Five, four, and two twos. Alright. One more for Bliss. And the side reel's halfway through its nonsense. Alright. Let's go down here and deal with this thing. Engage and into it. Oh, I actually chose good skills. A plan so bold it might work. Oh, the music in this section is really nice. Yeah, +2 into it's not terrible. I've got good odds of completing it. Yeah. And a dangerous critical action that requires interfacing. I do not want to do that with a 4. I would prefer a 5. A 5 or better, honestly. $600 cryo. Yeah, I'm fully self-sufficient at this point. I could literally live on the eye for the rest of my life. Oh, that's a good day. All 5s and 6s. Sleeper, it's time. Big job just came in. Grand finale. You up for it? Yep. Alright then, we're in business. This has to work, Sleeper. It has to. If it doesn't, Bliss okay? I don't think so, but she's hiding that from anyone. But she isn't hiding that from anyone. Look, Bliss has a rough time of it. I thought you of all people would understand that. Sorry, didn't mean to be... Bliss is a good one. She gave me a chance. I owe her. Now, you have your own things going on, Sleeper. We all do. But the Bay needs someone. Bliss needs someone. Hell, I need someone to help me keep Bliss from spinning out completely. Otherwise, there's not much I can do, and I would hate to not pay back my debts. I've got to get back. I'm out. See you there. %100% positive chance. So one thing about this, but it's been a while since we've seen the tutorial section. Basically, a danger mission is not good unless it's a fully positive. So unless it's a 6, it's going to have a problem. And a failure is really bad. Casters there? Send to the hub. Ooh. Starward Vector. Repeatable action, engineering, and interfacing. Selected launch window for the Starward Vector's maiden voyage is closing. This is going to be a tight one. Sail deployment failed horribly. Now its massive solar sails have to be repaired. God, it's 6 cycles to finish it. Why would I do this one for engineering? This seems so much better. I can get 3 successes for doing this. Yeah, and that's 1/3 of the way through. God. Good rolls make all the difference. They really do. When you arrive at Lemon Mina's unit, Caster's already waiting outside. Forgive me, Sleeper, but Celius is already buzzing with news of the breach. I was expecting you. Will this work? Don't worry, the breach can't be traced to the specific IDs I'm about to create. Caster reaches into a pocket and produces a sleek green and white hand terminal. The data, please. You hand over a drive with the data, and Caster fishes around for a converter cable to hook it up. He slots it in the terminal, and after some worrying seconds of 2 transparent films marked with numeric sequences are produced. 2 tickets to an uncertain future. The child would go with Lem, of course. These are yours, but first, your side of the deal. Holds out a white cube. What's that? Something to help us make use of you. Passes you the square, and you rest it on your palm, a small, white, perfect cube. Suddenly you feel a sharp pain and flinch. The cube jumps from your hand and rattles along the walkway. Look at Caster apologetically. Not to worry, it's done its job. Now it is for you to do yours. Nothing sinister. This way we can keep track of you and the side reel. Whatever you need to do, man. Excellent. Go. Give them the good news. He reaches across and buzzes the unit. Sleeper, what brings you here? Come in. And Caster's already gone. Mina's with some of the local kids. Someone has started doing lessons down the way, and she seems to like it. What's up, Sleeper? I've got some news. Out with it. I have IDs for us. How? Does that mean? Yeah, it does. We have to pack. Holy shit, we have to pack. How the hell did you swing this, Sleeper? A friend helped. Well, thank you, friend. You show him the ID films, and he whistles at the portraits. Impressive stuff. You should stay until Mina gets home. We can tell her together. Sure. That'll be her. Brobit! And you won't believe what they brought us. We're going away after all, Meanie. On that big, beautiful ship. Mina screams and Lem laughs. I love you, Brobit, she says quietly, so only you can hear. I love you too, Mina. A while later, when you leave, you don't even think to check for Caster by the door until it's too late. You stop and turn, and halfway down the walkway, there's nothing there. Even that little white cube is gone. You keep walking back through the low end, deep in thought, excited and scared all at once. So we've got 2 exit strategies active. I will feed the cat again. It's been a little while. Actually, let me go make some food first. Yeah, they are not happy about that breach. Considering everything else that they're doing, that I know that they're doing, they are probably shitting themselves over somebody hacking into their systems, because there's a bunch of stuff they would not want people to know about. Alright. Side reel is in a couple cycles. Alright. Good bonuses to rigged and ready. So that's halfway done. I don't want to leave Bliss hanging. Good. Even better. Three-quarters of the way done. I can help Bliss and Lem. I'll still have 4 rolls for a little bit longer. Alright. A couple 5s, which isn't great. And then 2 1s, which I can definitely re-roll. Looks like I'll have to burn 2 of them here, but that's fine. Rigged and ready. Continue. The atmosphere in the airlock is euphoric. You and Bliss keep grinning at each other like idiots. Exhausted, blinded, sore, aching idiots. Sleeper, that was incredible. I never thought we were going to make it. Those idiots tangled up the whole thing like nothing I've ever seen. We make a good team. Smiles a winning smile. As the lock's inner doors open, Moritz gives a rare whoop. He looks exhausted too, and for good reason. Morris has been the one ferrying the tools and parts back and forth from the ship. His tired smile tells you he's glad it's done. Impressive, Sleeper. When I saw that ship come in, I thought there was no way. Why, thank you, Moritz, for believing in us. You know what I mean. Take the compliment. You shoulder some of the gear that came back with you, and Bliss heads out to the racks to stow it. I think you should be the one to do the honors. She nods to the ragged-looking console that Morris assembled. I don't want to jinx it. She smiles, but you can see she's genuinely nervous. Check it. You glide over the console and check the screen. It takes a second to see what you are doing through the flickering, cracked display, but after a moment you see the accounts. And there it is, almost 1,000 cryos sat in the bay's transfer count. Well, have we been screwed again? We did it. Bliss kicks off on the floor and spins into the bay, shouting as she does. The noise takes Moritz by surprise as he knocks a rack of parts, scattering handfuls of metal fixings across the bay. The sight is something, glittering steel catching the work lights like glitter. Sorry, I needed that. Moritz even managed to sell that produce. We made a tidy profit, eventually. Here, she loads a stack of blank chits into the terminal and transfers a chunk of the cryo to them. This is your cut. Thank you for believing in this place, even when I couldn't. When I first met you, I was on the edge of giving up. All it would have taken was one more push, but now this place is sparkling again. Work's coming in, there are funds in the accounts. Even Moritz is springing a step. That's because of you. He likes you. He's a good kid. He isn't bad, is he? You know, he came here looking to rob the place. I gave him a job instead. Don't tell him I told you that, though. I just thought it might help you understand the kid. So what now? From here on, it's going to be a little bit easier. I'm going to look for some component contracts, stuff that'll keep us inside the bay, not out in the black. No need to risk our necks if we don't need to. You want to cash out? That's fine, but there will always be work for here when you need it. I appreciate it. Take care. Oh, she gives us a hug. Take care, she says softly. You too. And sleeper? Yeah? Don't spend that all at once. 300 cryo and an upgrade point. And the repair bay has work. There's one last job coming in. Refresh this. Just do some engineering work here. Cryo. Oh, it's a cycle clock. Morris has heard Bliss speaking with someone remotely. Is there another job coming in? There sure is. I'm not going to be here by that job, though. Because I have a pass in the side reel. There's no reason not to fill up on stabilizers. Alright, end cycle. Rare mushrooms. Rare mushrooms. Matsutake. One roll worse, but one roll better. See that again for one last time. Grove spores. Sure, let's take some spores into the enclosed spaceship we're going to be traveling away in. Good rolls. Lemon Mina. And it won't let me end the day until I trigger and interact with that. That's fine. I'll do some engineering work here. Oh, because engineering work, that part extractor thing works in conjunction with it. Decent work, though. There's a crowd, but you spot Lem and Mina immediately when you enter the dock. They're waiting in the cordon where Zelda's security are checking the crew in to board the ship. Those who manage to get up to the hub are crowded into the entrance, but even they know their chance of getting on board has long gone. Lem. Her hair is great in this picture. Sleeper, we're here. They're standing beside a bag which looks to carry all the possessions they have. It's small enough to be carried in one hand. Hi, Mina. Hi, Robot. You hand over the Celes ID film to Lem, keeping your own. He turns it back and forth in the light. Where did your friend even get this picture, Sleeper? It looks like my old Conway ID. You look, and a slimmer, younger Lem stares out of the film, hard and clean cut. Put to the guard here. They'll be doing orientation and role assignments on board. Looks like we're going to be working under the core crew, kind of like an intern. What do you think, Meanie? Am I too old to be an intern? Following Lem's lead, you inspect your ID. As you lift the film up to light, you see something strange, something that makes you flinch. The face printed in the film is one you recognize immediately, but it's not you. At least not how you look now. You squint at this ghost, confused why you hadn't noticed it earlier. It's a picture you remember being taken, a memory you didn't know you had. You're signing the forms, you walk into the sleeper tank, the cold metal floor. Remember the S&ARP employee who helped you in, her smile clean and surgical. You freeze in place, thinking of the you that still sleeps somewhere in an S&ARP facility, that won't wake up until you're recovered and disposed of. And now you're leaving. Will they ever wake up? Sleeper, these guys want us to board. You kick off and float over towards them, steadying yourself in the guardrail. You hang back, letting Lem present his ID film first. Guard slides across a white machine, much like the one Caster printed them from. You reflexively rub the puncture mark on your hand, and there's no trace of it now. It seems your destiny is to be someone else's tool. Lem and Mina are waved through, the guards smiling at her excited face. Lem turns back to check if you're coming. The guard beckons you closer. Bored. Check if your doubts and hand over your ID. The guard barely looks at it as they pass through the scanner and wave you through. A new life built from old things. You okay? You're so slow, robot. Yeah, I'm good. He nods and you realize how much harder it must have been for him to cross that threshold. Mina struggles in his arms, trying to get you, and Lem relents, struggling with both the bag and his daughter. Mina tumbles through the microgravity and grabs onto your clothes for purchase. Pulling herself into your arms, you all proceed into the walkway, the entrance of the docking bridge, yawning wide in above you. Are we family, robot? Yeah, I guess we are. Mina smiles and presses her head against your chest, pleased by your answer. You keep moving up on the dock bridge, then along that thin, glass-walled connector, all the time Mina clutching onto you. Lack of gravity means you can't feel her weight, only the grip of her small hands on your clothes. You both stare wide-eyed at the vast hull of Sidereal Horizon and try to think of this huge machine as a home. Later, when you settle into your bunk after Mina has finished running back and forth between you and Lem, with an endless and infectious excitement, you find yourself looking at your ID film once more. Somehow, since the last time you looked at it, the image seems to have changed. It's still a picture of the old you, the person that signed up to have their consciousness copied and placed into an ownership of SNARP. Something else is crypted in the image, an underlying sense of self-identification. This is also a picture of you now. The you that survived the eye, that made friends here, that found a way out, that escaped against all odds. The other you might never wake up, might never live again. But so be it. They consigned you to a doomed life for their own gain. Their life is yours now. You'll live it better than they ever could. You lie back on your bunk as the thrust of the Sidereal's vast engines kick in. This feeling, this rumble, will be your constant companion for the next decades. It'll be there when you work, when you watch Mina grow, when you dream of the planet at the end of the journey. It'll stay with you when your body starts to fail despite the best efforts of Lem and Mina as the years stack up, and it exceeds its safe operating period by a decade. It'll be the thing you wake up to you in those rare moments of consciousness between which Mina will keep you in a frozen state in hopes of preserving you until your destination is reached. It'll still be there when Mina wakes you, tears in her eyes, to tell you of Lem's inevitable death. It will not relent despite your desire for a rare moment of silence. It'll be the final thing you hear as Mina shuts down all but the most vital of your functions in hopes beyond hope that you'll make it to your final destination, all the while doubting you will. Yeah, because that stabilizer is what keeps us alive. We'll die when we leave. Even with me having several vials, it's not going to work. But for now, in this moment of departure, it's still a new sound, a new feeling. And because of this, it's filled with the promise of the future. And so you settle back into your bunk and close your eyes, and in the moments you're sleeping, a perfect dreamless sleep. Most peaceful sleep you ever remember. Unknown journey to a small, unknown planet. Yeah, because it's several decades journey, and we are on the cruise, so we're not in cryo. So, yeah, there's no way we will personally survive that trip. And there's a chance Lem won't either. Mina will grow up. She won't be a kid anymore. Bit sad in a way. It's definitely a very somber end to a story that is often very somber. But beautiful in its own way. Ah, they built it in Unity. Nice. Continue. What happens if I jump back to the operator? Just curious. Where's the save point and what does it do? Oh, it just takes me back to Lemon Mina. And oh, that's interesting. I can choose. Wait. Reconsider. You make out the concerned look on Lem's face as you hold back. The guard gestures again. Stay on the eye. I got them out. Think about the future you might have chosen. You no longer have enthusiasm for being carried away by the dreams of others. Grand futures that unfold like angelic wings. Left behind, you let them go. That's another ending. Man, Cassier's gonna be pissed because he wanted me on that ship. And I reneged on the deal. Well, time to find out how personally Caster will take it. It's a beautiful game in a lot of ways. It's also very sad and tragic. But I got them on first. A strange choice. Caster stands beside you on the rail, watching the pinpricks of light from the sidereal horizon's drives disappear. But perhaps not unexpected. You turn and look at Caster beaming at you with an unsettling warmth. Aren't you angry? About what? I only wished for you to exercise that strong drive of yours. If it happens to align with my own, then that's pleasing to me. But if it does not, I can't punish you. Well, what about the side reel? I'll do my best to follow its progress. Celis is of more concern. Senator Celis has taken a step back from the public eye. It seems some internal struggles are playing out within their pristine halls. But I doubt core politics are of much concern to you. The eye, though, seems to be your primary concern. Am I right? Yeah, I've got some unfinished business. Don't we all? It's the nature of life to leave things unfinished. I have more projects than I can count, so many games still to play, things to learn. May your future cycles be as fruitful as my own. I'll keep an eye on you if you don't mind, Sleeper. My curiosity remains piqued. So we got Lem and Mina out, but we didn't go with them. What does he say here? Yeah, Celis and the side reel are both gone. Haven Edge. Critical action. A limited supply goes up. So if you actually spec and engage early and get haggling. Oh, that's nice. There's definitely a somberness to letting Lem and Mina get out while we stay behind. It's not a bad feeling, but it's very heavy. Nice. Managed to actually get a good roll. Alright, food time. I have 1100 cryo. Yeah, the only thing I have left is the flotilla aid, which... There's still whatever this is. Not that I know what this is. Wink, wink. It's engineering. Let's max that out. Hit the upgrade point. Get some good money from this. And help out some friends. And re-roll the 1 because it literally can't get any worse. I'll probably be up here for a little while, so I will rent a capsule. Oh, I have enough stuff here to get myself back up to 5. Gimbal Lounge. And we'll find out whatever this is after the next cycle's over. All this engineering work, and I have not gotten a single spare component. That's a little nuts. Neutral outcome is still 16 cryo. I do like that they give you a place to rest in each of the zones, because you're going to be there doing a lot of quests. Sleeper, long time. More, it's good to see you. How you been? Working hard. I bet. Liz said she didn't want to take any more big jobs. She changed her mind or something. We have someone looking for a refit of their ship in the bay. They're with their entire ship disarmed, cutting out the defense arrays, weapon lockers, ship-to-ship countermeasures, the whole lot. We'll be able to start an arms dealership with all the hardware we'll have up there when we're done. And it's a massive job and we need some hands. Bliss said to get to you. Good to have you up there again. It'll be like old times. When the end of the bay, it's weirdly quiet. Moritz must be out on some kind of errand, and maybe Bliss is prepping the kit. Sleeper. Ankhita is drifting to one side of the bay. You missed her completely when you came in. The idea of not seeing Ankhita when you entered the room would have seemed unlikely to you several cycles ago, but seeing her without her armor, she seems smaller, less imposing. Ankhita? So what is this? Come to avenge Ashton or his sleeper, or just looking for another payout? Her anger is familiar, but quieter than before, restrained. I'm not here for a fight. Why are you here? She looks away, and you can tell her anger isn't directed at you in particular. It radiates off her like fire. You better be ready to sign, because I've got my best repair tech coming up here especially, and they are going to... And she stops when she sees you and Ankita standing off. Oh, Sleeper, you're already here. Miss Cassetta, this is the tech I was telling you about. The best on the... Oh, you two know each other, don't you? We work together. Now, Miss Cassetta, if you'd like to sign our damage waiver here, we can start the decommissioning. My tech here is eager to get started, as am I. Thank you. And everything was okay with the special payment terms we discussed? All fine. I'll be in the gimbal. Special payment terms. Look, Sleeper, there's something I have to tell you. This isn't a typical job. Miss Cassetta, Ankita, doesn't have the chits to pay us, so we made a special agreement. I'm leaving? Or I'm leaving. You're joining a mercenary crew. Don't make me laugh. She's an ex-merc. Why do you think she's getting us to remove all her ship's armaments? Amber. The ship is called Amber. There's some deep history here, huh? Look, all I care about is she's heading out for the Starward Belt. That's where I'm headed. Also, I wanted to ask if you'd like to come with us. Sure. I know you've been working. I know things have been hard for you in the eye, and you've helped me so much. I asked Ankita if she'd carry 2 of us, and she said yes. Morris will take over the bay. Although if you stay, you're welcome to help him run it. I just thought you might be in need of fresh air as much as I am. Think about it anyway. The berth is here. We've got to finish the job first anyways. Starward Belt. You push your thoughts to the back of your mind. Time to get to work. Safe job. +2 to engineering. So yeah, this is another option to end the game. So far, it seems like I found 3 of them. God, I keep getting ones that roll back into ones. And this could fail. Neutral outcome. I'll get something to eat because there's no reason not to. 1,200 cryo. My God. Comparing that much money to what you have at the start of the game, where sometimes you're going like paycheck to paycheck, it is a huge difference. All right. +2. Amber looks better than she ever has before. Bliss has done an incredible job of cleaning up the hull, despite the exterior changes being limited. She has the impression of being lighter, somehow sleeker than before. Morris drifts by, and he's been loading up the final equipment into Amber. It turns out Ankita will be taking her weapons, but packed and ready to sell at the first Starward Belt port she hits. But now that Moritz is done, he seems in a kind of daze, floating back and forth aimlessly. You okay, Moritz? Oh, what's that? Right, yeah. Stacked and packed. I was hoping Miss Cassetta would let me keep a warhead. What do you think of her? Miss Cassetta? She seems tired and old, like she's older than she looks. Hey, Sleeper, did you know Bliss was leaving? You understand now, Oh, you understand now. She told him. That's why he's like this. Yeah, I did. She said this place is mine. You'll do a great job. Hey, thanks. I appreciate you saying that. Not many people believed in me before now. First Bliss, then you. A dark look suddenly crosses his face. Hey, Sleeper, is there something Bliss said? Are you going too? Before you can answer, Ankita glides into the bay, a massive crate on her shoulders. Sleeper, you coming or what? Bliss is already on board. She stops by the terminal, holding herself in place. Moritz looks at her with a dazed expression. You look at Ankita. She's keeping it together now. She's packed all those bad feelings down someplace where you'll never see them and built a tough foundation on top. She might not be a mercenary anymore, but you imagine most people would think twice before trying to cross her. Well, I'm not eager to spend another moment of my time on this station unless I have to. She pauses, looking between you and Moritz. I'll give you a minute. She kicks off with the crate, taking it to the end of the bay where the Amber sits docked. Yeah, I'm going. I get it. It's the right decision. Thank you. Hey, thank you for working with me these past cycles. I learned a lot. Hey, look. You gotta find what you need. I did. Bliss, this place, you. This was everything I needed. I was in a bad place, and this pulled me out. You go find it. You coming, sleeper? Yeah, I'm coming. Well, okay, come over with your things and I'll get you settled. I'm sure Amber will be happy to have you. You glide away from Moritz, his eyes wet but a smile on his face. He waves as you go, dwarfed by the vast bay, and you hope he'll make it, even though you know somehow that he will. Ankita helps you through the lock, onto the amber, and the sense of familiarity is overwhelming. You think about all the time you spent in these corridors, listening to these sounds, diagnosing those hisses. Ankita gives you a minute before she speaks. Look, sleeper, I'm not going to back over everything that's happened. I'm trying to put that behind me. It's okay, the past is done. Thank you. I don't know if we can begin again, but we can move on. Sounds pained, tired. I don't think it was wrong. I thought the wrong things about who or what you were. I think I just didn't think. Of you, I mean. I didn't think about how things might affect you. And I realized I've been like that for a long time. Focused, stubborn, willing to get the job done at any cost. Well, I'm sick of paying the cost. I'm sick of being used as an extension of something bigger, something crueler than me, and having that cruelty, that violence, flow through me. I just want to be me for a while, or at least figure out who that is. So what I'm saying is you can get off at the first port we hit on the belt. I wouldn't blame you. It's a smart move. Or you can stick around, and we'll see if we can find a way to make space for all of us. She looks away, her energy exhausted. Thank you. This is you. She turns you to a small room with a bunk and a porthole on the side. Flickering lights. Porthole to the flickering lights outside. The outside wall is slopped like a roof, and tucked beneath it is a small desk and terminal. Bliss is next door, though I think she's in the hold right now. She said she wants to make sure the warheads are locked down tight. I mean, they are, obviously. She gives you a look. She slips away and you look around the room. You go over the porthole and place your hand on the wall and feel amber purr. You think you're going to like it here. Stay like that for a while, looking out of the porthole. One hand on the wall, feeling the ship. It's through the porthole that you'll watch the eye getting smaller and smaller, drowning in the black. At some point it'll become so small you could hold between your thumb and index finger, and then it'll wink out, and you won't be able to see it anymore. And it is at that moment when you finally exhale and collapse into your bunk. The moments you'll be asleep, and when you wake up, it'll be among friends. On your way to somewhere new. Starboard passage. How many endings have we gotten today? I think 4? We got the green belt no ending. I probably should have said yes first, because then I would at least seen what happens when you say yes. And then I got the yes and the no for the side reel. And I got the yes one for the amber. And we can reload and look at the no as well. Because there's no reason not to. I've seen it before, but you folks haven't. Let's hop back into our operator, and we'll look at the other ending here. I think that might be where we call stream for today. It'll be a little bit shorter than before, but... And he's dazed. You okay? What would you keep the warhead for? I don't know. It might just be a cool thing to have around. Did you understand she was leaving? Yeah, I did. Can you manage it? I don't know. I just don't know. Hey, Sleeper, there was something Bliss said. Are you going to? She talks, and I'm gonna stay. Are you sure? Are you doing this for me? Faye needs me. Couldn't leave me alone with the place in the end. Staying then, Sleeper? I'm staying. Okay then, one less mouth to feed. Look, Sleeper, I'm not gonna go back over everything that happened. I'm trying to put that behind me, but I hope you find what you're looking for here. She smiles and kicks off, gliding into the ambergris and the starward belt beyond. You both watch in silence as Amber's drives fire up. I guess this is our place now. I guess so. Cool. You both watch while Amber, Bliss, and Ankita leave, and then Moritz goes over to the racks to finally implement a new organizational system. And you head out, promising to be back to check on things soon. As you glide around the soft curve of the hub, you catch glimpses of distant stars flickering through the windows. They're beautiful, it's true, but now you think of them as a distraction. In your time on the Eye, you've realized there's nothing out there waiting for you. No fresh starts, no bright futures. Just a whole load of problems you haven't found yet. Now your place is here, among people you know, and the problems you know. You wish Ankita and Bliss the best of luck out on the belt, but as you focus on the Eye, the vast spinning rim that rotates around its hub, on its buildings and flashing lights, on its people and places, this is your home, and for now it contains all the futures you need. Little defeatist, but we did turn down a chance to get out of this place. And for some people, yeah. Let's see who's around to raid. Emmy's online. Been a little while since I raided her. We got anybody else that's up and about? Emmy's the only one on that Twitch. And there's no one on my other one that I really want to raid right now. Next round is yours. Arrives at the table with a couple of steel drink canisters, typical of the hub's only bar. He settles into the weapon beside the table and clinks down onto the magnetic table. Or clinks them down on the magnetic table. This place, you have decided, is ridiculous. A rapidly spinning, cavernous sphere, the gimbal's weak gravity, just like the gravity of the eye's rim, is created by its gut-wrenching rotation. The interior surface of the sphere is the gimbal's floor, which descends towards the equator, where one long bar loops around the entire circumference. Tumbling out from that center ring is an array of booths and seating arrangements equipped with all sorts of harnesses and webbing to keep customers in place. The harnesses are there because the gimbal doesn't spin quite fast enough, and you watch as the clientele bounce towards the bar in lazy arcs, or shift from table to table with graceful leaps. What are you thinking? What to do next? I try not to think too hard about that. So, Sleeper, you sticking around? If you'll have me. Of course, I'm going to need help in the bay. One cycle at a time, that's how we'll take it. Nice and easy. You aren't sure if he's talking to himself or you. We'll make it. To the next cycle. He lifts his drink for a toast, he pronounces, and knocks it back. Later, when you finally leave Gimbal, Moritz is still laughing. You help him out of the spinning gimbal and back to the hub, sending him on his way back home to the bay. And you pause for a moment to watch the stars as they spin and spin around the eye. Smile to yourself and think of Bliss and Ankita out there, somewhere among those points of light. To the next cycle. And there's my save. But, yeah, let's get a raid going to Emmy. She's a good soul. She's playing some Final Fantasy XIV online. So, let's send her some love. She's a good soul. So, thank you for joining me, everybody. I hope you had a good time. Bit of a sad, depressing end for this because it's a lot of heavy stuff. But, yeah, it'll be a good time. I'm very glad I played this game. It's been fun. Let me check something here. So, tomorrow we'll be playing a game called, I think it's called Traveler's Rest. It's an early access game that released on Steam. Kind of looks a little bit like Stardew Valley, but you're running an inn rather than a farm. So, I'm going to give it a try. Probably just like a once and done thing. And then next week is the release for Final Fantasy XVI, which I am going to be purchasing and trying to play on stream. So that will be my intention. We'll see how that goes. It'll be my first time streaming. Oh, God. They already have PS5 game leaks. Yeah. But, yeah, I'm going to be trying to play that on stream, and hopefully that goes well for us. If it doesn't, I'll find something else we can play on PC. But, yeah, make it work. But, anyway, thank you all for joining me. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your morning, afternoon, evening, night, wherever it is in your part of the world. Reminder, I do have a Discord server. Link is here. We are slowly building it out, slowly getting more people in there. So, if you want to join us, hang out, have some fun, talk about silly things, that's all well and good. Your company will be much appreciated. I do talk a little bit more there and share some more stuff than I do on social media, because sometimes I'll just share silly things there. But if you do want to follow me on socials, here's my link website where you can view stuff there. And then finally, I do have a YouTube channel. Link is here. I put a bunch of like VODs and clips and highlights and stuff up to that. So I don't think there's much scheduled right now. I had a long period where I was doing a bunch of Xenogears clips for a while. So there's a ton of that there. And I'm slowly starting to put together some clips for games like Coffee Talk 2 that I was playing. So there's going to be more stuff coming up there over the next few weeks. But it's just not going to be at the same level of release I was for Xenogears. Because that was like 5 to 10 clips a week. And I can't do that. That was exhausting. But anyway, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your morning, afternoon, evening, night, wherever it is in your part of the world. I'm going to get this raid started, and I will see you all again tomorrow. Take care of yourselves, everyone. Bye-bye.